video on replacing the spark plugs on the BMW. So I'm just getting started on pulling out this other spark plug back here. I'm gonna get this one out next. Get in there. Okay, so we'll get in here. See if we can take this.
John McEwen on 104.9 The Wolf. I did something I haven't done in forever. Yesterday I went and switched cell phone providers. Yeah. Thought about changing my phone number for a second because they offered it to me.
Okay.
Still have my Ontario
I've
number.
been having fun getting these spark plugs out because they're not really magnetic. So I have to fish them out with a hook. It's real fun. But
have phone numbers for here.
what it is,
We're both out of our
get her out.
area codes. It is always funny when people ask me the phone number for either one of them because they look at you, see people trying to process where the hell that phone number is from.
Come on. There. Sucks up pushing out. If you do it, it'll do it. There we go. Ah. Okay, so if you have a BMW, don't put these plugs in it. These E3 ones, these economy ones. They're not very good. I had them in my Prelude for years. I didn't even know. They got like a different kind of design, a little bit different than your conventional spark plug. But anyhow, out with the old and in with the new. That's what we're gonna throw in. Okay, so there is oil on the spark plug. So what I like to do sometimes is I will take a rag and get everything kind of all cleaned up. So we'll get in there, try and get up as much clean as we can. You just want to make sure you don't actually physically drop any rag in there because then you're going to drop it in the cylinder. So what I normally do is I'll just kind of twist the rag up like this and then push it down the cylinder. It'll clean some of the stuff out. So get in here and just kind of press this towel down here so we can get some of the oil out of there. There's lots of oil sitting on the bottom there. Again, just be careful. You don't want to get any of the paper towel actually physically stuck in the engine. You can use like a extension or something to get in there and push the towel down a bit. But just be wary, you know, you don't want to push down too far because you break a piece off and fall in the engine. You don't want that. So like I said, I just kind of went in there, cleaned her up a little bit. I think I actually need a longer one so I can get right in there. I actually want to buy some Q-tips that you can buy that is literally specific for this. I've seen a guy on a BMW Euro channel. They have like these big Q-tips, they're about that big. You shove it down there and you just sit there and twist it and it cleans all the oil out. So yeah, try and get out as much as you can. This is my first time working on BMW, and I normally don't torque spark plugs, but just because this thing is a BMW and I got a new torque wrench set, I figured, well, we'll give her a try anyways. So I'm just gonna push this down here, try and get some of the oil out if I can. Careful when you do it. Like I said, you don't want to have your towel go right into the engine. I got a little bit of it, not all of it, but some of it. And I seen a thing too. It was saying with these spark plugs with BMWs, don't put anti-seize on the threads. And I also seen something too that said don't put dielectric grease on spark plugs. So we're just not going to do either. And so we got the NGKs we're throwing in here. So when I throw a spark plug in, I'll either use a magnet, like so. This one will actually grab onto it. Or you could just drop it in, just guide it down with your finger, all the way down into the hole, kind of lightly let it drop down. Another way you can do it too is you can get a spark plug boot thing, and it'll hook on top, drop it in, spin it in, I always spin it in by hand too. Never use any sort of oscillating tool on anything to do with spark plugs. So, with that being said, I'll drop this guy in here.
That can take over your life.
Okay. And what I'm doing is I'm just reaching my finger all the way down
Like you're drowning. When
so I can feel it basically
often anxious and feeling hopeless.
touch the bottom of the cylinder almost. Got one finger, so I'm able to kind of do that. It doesn't drop that far. Maybe it drops like that far, if that. So then what I do is, because it's kind of back there, you're gonna have to build an extension. So that's what I'm gonna do. Put this in there, thread it by hand all the way till it stops. Then you can start tightening or using your torque wrench, whatever you want to do. So what I normally do is I will thread the spark plug, try to thread it a bit, and just to make sure that nothing is cross-threading. And this is just something that I do myself because it just gives me peace of mind. I always take a magnet and I'll touch it to the spark plug. I'm just trying to find my small magnet. The big one's a little bit too powerful. But what I'll do is I'll take my magnet and I'll touch it to the spark plug to see, because if you touch it to it and it won't come up, then that means it's threading. So, and I do this on every vehicle. See, just like that. It's all it takes, just to make sure that you're threading nice. Okay, so then get in here. I can get a light actually. I'll put a light on the next three here. So we're just gonna drop it right on top, thread it in by hand. You don't want to be using no ratchet threading these in. Just do it by hand. I've been doing it for years like this. Never had an issue. So once it starts to sink down, you might need a small extension. Just it's going down pretty far here. So we'll get this. So now it's stopped, basically by hand. So now I'm gonna try and find my little extension so that I don't have it readily available. Okay, so for anyone that drives Subarus, this is your best friend. You can do your spark plugs on a Subaru without having to lift the engine or anything. You just have to, you have to pull the one engine mount up, and then you just basically pull the 14 mil at the bottom, cradle the engine up like that, and then do your spark plugs. You'll be able to get in there with a socket like this, or sorry, with an extension like this. These extensions are awesome. They work good. So I can just throw it right on top here. That might not even be enough, so I think what we'll do is we'll use just a regular extension. A nice small one. Something like that. That way I can get my torque wrench on there. You know, these wobble extensions, such a fascinating, invention, but super annoying. Whoever made these, man, like, it sucks when you're sitting there wobbling on something and you're trying to tighten it. Like, I don't know. It's good for some situations, but not my situation. So that is why I like to switch over to one that's like that, where it doesn't have that stupid wobble thing on it. Because if you put it on there, it just sits there and wobbles. So out with that, in with this, we'll just throw this right here. So I have a 1/2-inch torque wrench that's electric. I was in Princess Auto and I went to go buy electric torque wrench for the GMC job. I ended up coming out with 3 torque wrenches. So these are torqued to 17 foot-pounds, and we're gonna give her a go. I've already torqued the other ones. So normally I wouldn't torque spark plugs, but it's a BMW, it's not mine, so I don't want to be responsible for it. So that's what I'm doing. Okay, so another thing, make sure you can hear your torque wrench click. If you have music on, you're not going to be able to hear it click. So, I'm just going to get in here and kind of show you guys. Okay, so, like I said, you thread it in by hand. Now you're at the point where the spark plug basically is bottomed out. And with these spark plugs, I believe they have a crush washer at the bottom. Yes, they do. So they have a crush washer at the bottom. So when you get to the bottom, that's actually what you're doing your tight quarter turn on, because that's normally what I'll do for spark plugs is tight quarter turn. That's what you're crushing. That's what the quarter turn is. So anyway, get in here and we'll get this tightened up. And we'll listen for the click. Should be coming up right on it. Done.
Don't need to click it twice.
One click, she's good. So that spark plug's done. Pull your extensions out that you built. And then what we'll do is get a coil back in. I'll kind of show you how the coil's. So when the coil's in there, they're sitting kind of like this. You just got to take your finger, lift up like this, and then what'll happen is the wire harness will just kind of slide right out. If it gets stuck, don't panic. It's organic. Just wiggle it back and forth and take a little pry tool, and you should be able to get a little flathead in there, a tiny one, and slowly pry this off and work it side to side. You don't want to break these. These are quite expensive. I imagine one from BMW is probably like a couple $100, but the Blue Streak one I think was like $70. Anyhow, so that's what I'm gonna do. That's how I'm hooking this up, just so you guys can kind of see. Oh, that's right. I said I was gonna get a light. Guess I lied. Okay. Now we got a light on the situation here. A little bit better. See a little bit on what I'm doing. Okay, so this little clip right here, like I said, it's just gonna plug in to your coil. It'll plug into your coil, and then you'll be able to just snap this back down kind of deal. So I don't know if you can see this or not, but I'm just taking it, pushing it on there, pushing the connector in, and then just once it's clicked down, it's good. To get it off, you're just gonna click up, just like that. You should be able to pull it out. Okay, so I want to make sure that we don't put our bad ignition coil back in. We got 3 left to do here, so I'll get this guy back in. Kind of shoot it from the back and then in like this. And then we'll hook our connector up first. See the triangle's facing up. I'm just gonna put that in there like that. Kind of give it a click, push it in, and then you'll be able to push this down. Once you got it clicked, then you just push your coil down. Mine unclicked again, so just make sure that it's clicked in. Pull up on the back of them to see if they're clicked in or not. This one's kind of, I think I gotta push this one in a bit more. There we go. That was a click. So what I like to do when I'm working on vehicles, I mark stuff. So I know I'm done this one, I know I'm done this one, and I know I'm done with that one. Okay, so now we can go ahead and start on the other ones. Here's kind of a cool thing, a tool. That's a wobble extension dealio for spark plugs. I think it's got a magnet in it too, so it pulls the plug out. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It prevents you from breaking spark plugs, putting unnecessary stress on them. So instead, we'll just get in here and loosen these spark plugs. They seem like really loose. Okay. So now I got it all spinning by hand. We're just gonna spin her out. You kind of be able to tell when the spark plug's loose. Kind of starts slapping around, kind of. Okay, now I'm gonna show you guys what I was trying to do this whole entire time, and why I had to fish these spark plugs out with this hook tool is because these spark plugs, see how I'm using my magnet and it won't pick it up? It's because they're those E3 economy ones. Those E3 economy ones, first of all, the crap, and second, you can't even pick your magnet. Your magnet won't even work on them, so that kind of sucks. So anyhow, we'll fish this one out here. So we're gonna have to do pretty well with all of them because we can't seem to get a magnet on it. So I'm just gonna sticking my hook tool in there and getting on the side of the plug, pulling it up. Come on, baby. Don't be stubborn. There we are. Okay. All right, and another crappy economy plug. We got a good spark plug though. This one's not full of oil. I'm actually surprised, to be totally honest. Okay, now back with another spark plug. Further ado, thing like I said, we're just gonna drop her in with our finger here. Oh, you know what we'll do? Actually, we don't have to because that one doesn't have any oil on it, so we should be good. Should be able to just drop this down here nicely. There we go. Perfect. Okay, and we'll get our spark plug tool in here. Set her nicely on top. And then we're just gonna start nicely threading. This aluminum head. You do not want to cross thread. Okay, so once I do that, what do? Hold the magnet out. Test it. No, not coming out. That way I know it's threading properly. All right, so spin her in. I see some people when they're threading spark plugs in or pulling them out, they're using electric tools. Don't do that. Like, it's just use your hand. Like, come on, what happened to integrity? You know, and twisting every bolt torqued with integrity. You know, mechanics gotta have integrity, mechanical sympathy. If you're just gonna do a half-ass job on someone's vehicle and not even take into consideration, you know, that they're gonna be transporting their family in this vehicle and stuff like that, honestly, you shouldn't be a mechanic if you don't care. That's just it, simply. Like I said, I don't torque all my spark plugs. I've always done it Type quarter turns, but because it's a BMW and it's my first time, I'm just gonna do it the proper way. Okay, so listen for that click. There we go. I accidentally did two, so we'll go back. And you just want one click. Kind of a habit. As soon as it clicks. That's it. Only need one. Okay. That's that good. Alright, got our ignition coil. Same thing. We're just gonna lift the tab up there. Push the tab in and see how it kind of slides down like that. Listen for the click. And pop her down. Just like that. And then what do? We always do, because I was in here. Give her a mark. Okay, so now we're on to, I'm going to be putting the new coil on cylinder number 1, just because, personal preference, I guess. Okay, so we'll get this out. Oh, I should have just used my other one. What the heck was I thinking? I don't have to use that anymore. Beamer, Benzer, Bentley. Beamer, Benzer, Bentley. Yeah, these are loose. Like, I would say they're super, super loose. Knock it out. Pull it off, fingers. So for any of you that are watching or follow my channel or subscribe to it, I'm working on vehicles coming in and out of the shop like constantly. Like I have, sometimes I'm working on 2-3 vehicles at a time, and I'm only one person. So sometimes it can get a little bit frustrating because people are trying to rush you with timelines and stuff. But sometimes in mechanics, you're better off taking your time than rushing, because you rush and then that's when you end up having an accident. You know, it's as simple as having this exposed hole open and dropping a nut down it, and that'll ruin your whole week. So my rule is I only have one spark plug hole open at a time. I never pull them all out at once, because you could be working over top and, you know, let's say you have something on your bracelet or something that falls in. Anything can happen. An extension could fall right through when you're pushing the paper towel down. So just be mindful. And you're working on other people's stuff, you know? Okay, so. Give me my spark plug! Get over there! So stubborn. Come on, I'm out of there. You don't want that economy crap in there. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so again, we got a good spark plug. Yay! You don't have to clean the spark plug hole. Okay. I think this beamer is gonna come back to life after these spark plugs. Dang it. All right, out with the old, in with the new. Line her up. So. I haven't even. Hi, Nicole Stanton. Whoever said hi there. What's up? I can't respond with text right now because I'm busy doing this. I want to take my mind off it. Okay, check. Check it. Ooh, perfect. Excellent. So I'll give this a nice cleaning for the customer. Kind of clean it up, clean the engine cover up. Do our complimentary services while we're in here. Check the fluid levels, all that stuff. Alright, so you can hear it threading. And then we get our torque wrench on there. There we go. And then we just want one click. That's it. All we need is one. Yeah, so here we go. Same thing. Just gonna line that up. The clips there. See how when you push the clip in, this comes down automatically. Some of them don't make a nice clicking sound, but as long as it clicks, you're good. See what I mean? How you can pull up on it. This one doesn't make a nice clicking sound, but probably just because the clip is a little bit worn, which is not a big deal. Okay, so we got this one done. So now we can put the brand new coil in. This is the new coil from Blue Streak that we're going to be putting in. Looks a heck of a lot. The appearance may differ. Let's see if the clips are still the same or not. That's a nice coil. Okay, so when you're pulling your coils out too, you kind of want to have a look at them. If you got oil in them, then you need your tube seals done on the valve cover. If you got burn marks, then it could be shorting out on the valve cover or in the block. Anyhow, let's get this in. Pull our lovely plug out. See, I'm jumping ahead of the game. Okay, get in there and pull this one out. And then we'll be done with this. Like I said, I got a wheel bearing to do on it, a strut, and a control arm. I'm actually really excited to use the wheel bearing press tool that I've got. So that sound right there, just because you can hear the squeaking, tells me that that plug is probably jammed. So it's the back 3 plugs that were full of oil, which would be 3 to 6, from what I understand. Okay, now we'll pull that out. Of course, we're gonna have to use our lovely little hook tool. Man, I don't know what I have to work on to get like at least 5 likes. Like, do I have to work on a Ferrari live or what? Jesus. Okay, so we got the last one in here. Last spark plug. Okay, so there we go. On its beauty. And like I always do. Drop it down there nicely. And we're gonna get in there and thread it on. I like this tool because you can kind of, rather than your spark plug being on it straight and going at an angle, you can snap spark plugs that way. That's what this does, is it prevents it from doing that. So you can go that way and it doesn't stress the spark plug. Okay, what did I do with my magnet? You guys know, gotta do that magnet check. Yeah, we good. All right, get her in. This will be the last one, and then basically what's left is to throw the engine cover on, which isn't too hard to do. Just three tiny Allens. Okay, we got spark plugs bottomed out. Get in here and get her torch. There we go. That one is done. Now we can go ahead and throw our new coil in. There. Line it up. You see I got an X on there because that's the one. These don't really like to clip. No offense to Blue Streak, I had really crappy luck with them. Father, like, yeah, that doesn't even click. It should click, but it doesn't because it's Blue Streak. But as long as it's down, you should be okay. All right. Let's mark our last plug here. It's good. Okay, so that's basically how you do the spark plugs on a BMW 3-liter inline 6. So always before you start anything, check anything. I went to go put something up here and I realized that it can actually go back there. Careful, you know, be mindful, check everything, check all your connections again. Like this one, it doesn't want to stay down, but the coil's in there, so it should be fine. That's why I put it at the first position. So you got all 6 of them in, all 6 of them marked. Start her up and see how she runs. And like I said, just make sure you have no tools around or near the belts or anything like that. Start her up. If it runs like that from the get-go. Might have another bad coil too, I'll have to check it out. But it seemed to smooth out now. Check her again. Good. Okay, so there might be another coil that is acting intermittently. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to throw my scanner on it and see if possibly you have another bad coil. Possibility. You got oil smell coming from turning off the valve cover. I told the guy you could probably get a valve cover and there's a little bit of a coolant leak too, but he doesn't really want to address it, so it's like, okay, well, do as he pleases, it's his vehicle. Alright, so let's check to see if we got holes on this one. Okay, so this is my newer scanner I bought, the Top Dawn one. Basically what I'm going to do here is try and look at the cylinder activity and see if we can determine if this thing still has a miss or not. If it does, Then we need to isolate that mist. Just like we did for that one. Kind of started a little bit crappy, but those 3 plugs back there are also like full of oil, right? So they probably got oil on them like right after it started. So nothing you could do about that. Before it was pretty bad. It was like really bad. Misfiring like crazy. Alright, let's see, we got BMW in there. Oh yeah, so we got BMW. Automatic. So we'll just read it. Hopefully it just reads it. There we go. Oh. Someone messaging me for some work. So we'll see if we have another issue going on with the misfire. So I had a code for electric coolant pump or something rather. And so we'll see what comes of it. This thing kind of comes with a stand too at the back. So you kind of stand it up like that. Kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Yeah, so we're gonna scan it. We'll run it. We'll have all 6 cylinders on a graph, and then basically we'll see what's going on with it. So it's gonna do an auto scan, where it's just gonna scan everything, all the modules. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Oh goodness, I gotta deal with that. 2017 Enclave. Rear brakes. Trying to remember that. But 10 DTCs. Oh, that's quite a bit. So I'll run it. No, I didn't use Loctite on the plugs. I don't know why you would. What you were really referring to, but or good and tight. That's probably what you're referring to. No, it wasn't good and tight. It was 17 foot-pounds, all of them. Okay, so let's just see what we're pulling here. Currently not present. Okay, so clear the DTCs. And we'll see what happens. Anyhow, guys, I got a buddy that's showing up here. So we're gonna cut it short, clear the codes, see what comes back, and then we'll read the live data. Yeah, we'll see. It'd be funny if it's still misfiring on cylinder 6. So now it would tell me that either it's, well no, because I moved the coil, so the coil misfire jumped to 1, so we'll see. So yeah, we're not coming back with any code like that. So what I'll do is I will look at the data stream. Operation. That's not it. I remember where it is, if it's in here or not. It's in here somewhere. I know that. Start thinking. Maybe Lanos. No. States. No. Okay, I think we must be is BTCs. No trouble codes. What's going on? Okay, just give me a sec here. Trying to see if I can find misfire. I don't know why I can't find him. I was able to see it
last time. Show me idle. Where is it? Not there. Nope. Nope. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Smooth running check. I don't know if that's actually gonna. I'll have to screw with it. Thanks for watching.